The Nintendo Switch has one of the greatest library of games of all time, and there are some absolutely banger Black Friday deals across both physical and digital available right now on some of the absolute best games on the system. We're talking the very best from Nintendo, third parties, and indies alike. There are a lot of games and deals to choose from, but I wanted to share what I feel are some great sales on 10 must-play, must-buy games that represent the very best of the Switch and what makes the system so special. The games. Time to play the game. But first, let me say what's up, everyone. This is Justin. Welcome to Just Keep Playing. Please join me today as we talk about 10 amazing games that are on sale, Black Friday sale right now. And while you're here, please leave a comment below and let me know what games you're picking up and if there are any sales that you think I missed on games that should be recognized. Please leave those in the comments below. All right, let's get to these games. All right, we are going to start hot with one of my absolute favorite games on the Switch. We're talking top 10, top 5 game for me, and it may not even be 5. And that game is Astral Chain. It is on sale on both the eShop and at Best Buy for $41.99. And on the eShop, that sale goes until December 2nd. Astral Chain is an amazing game. We're talking one of the most stylish games you have ever seen from the masters at Platinum Games. It's an action game with RPG elements, and this game just oozes style. For me, this is the new franchise game that Nintendo created on the Switch. This is a game that I hope that we get on the Switch too. I hope we get Astral Chain 2, Astral Chain 3. I just hope that they keep them coming. This game, it was one of my absolute favorites when it came out back in 2019. The only thing that kept it from being my game of the year that year is another game that will find itself on this list coming up here soon. So stay tuned for that one. But Astral Chain is one of those games that when people talk about what's the game I should play on the Switch, what's a underrated game that not a lot of people, that hasn't gotten the love maybe that it deserves, Astral Chain is that game where I'm like, I want everyone to play this game. I want everyone to check this game out. It's a game that compels you to get better, try to do this new cool combo, try to get a better ranking, maybe try to get that S rank on the level or from a fight. The music is just banging. The game is just so good. The story is maybe a little predictable, but it's still just such a cool world that I really hope that we get to see more of. And it is a game that I just highly recommend, and that I feel everyone who owns a Switch should check this game out. So that's Astral Chain, available for $41.99 on the eShop and through Best Buy digitally. And following in the vein of Astral Chain, also from Platinum Games, we have Bayonetta 2. Now, I believe the entire trilogy is on sale on the eShop, where you could get the combined pack Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2, and Bayonetta 3 is also on sale. But the one that I really want to highlight is Bayonetta 2, which to me is one of the greatest action games of all time. And it is up there between being number 1 and number 2, in my opinion. It is just, it's so good. It's pure adrenaline, high octane action with some of the greatest action set pieces of all time. Some absolutely thrilling boss fights and just crazy, insane levels. And just it's just so good, so much good action. Bayonetta is just she's such a great character herself, and then just the entire world that they've built in this series. It's just so much fun, and it's one that I definitely highly recommend. So, Astral Chain, Bayonetta 2, those are two must play, must buy experiences, essential games on the Nintendo Switch that are on sale right now for Black Friday. And it's just a great game that I think everyone should experience and see if it's something you might like. And next up, we're going to slow things down a little bit from the adrenaline-soaked, action-packed goodness of a Bayonetta to a more strategic fare with one of the best games of this year, Unicorn Overlord. This is a game that easily, in my opinion, could have taken one of those 6 spots to be recognized for Game of the Year. Thankfully, it is being recognized as a nominee for the best strategy game, best strategy RPG game at the Game Awards. So big ups to Unicorn Overlord for that. But Unicorn Overlord is kind of like that perfect combination, a spiritual successor kind of to like Ogre Battle from back in the day, combined with elements from Fire Emblem and strategy games like that. And it's just visually, it's just such a beautiful aesthetic from the developers over there at Vanillaware, and it's just such a good strategy game. The story, it's good. It does the job that it needs to do, and it has some really cool characters and some really good music. But that strategy RPG gameplay is just top of the line, and it's sitting right up there with my favorites like Triangle Strategy and Fire Emblem Three Houses. So highly recommend Unicorn Overlord. It is on sale on the eShop for $35.99, but you can also get it from Amazon and Best Buy and GameStop for $30. So Unicorn Overlord is one of the best games of this year and a game that you should definitely check out. There is a demo that you can download and your progress carries over. I love it when games do that, and I want every RPG that's available to have the demo where you can play it and then your progress carries over. So Unicorn Overlord, if you think you might like it, check out the demo, but don't wait too long because the sale will be ending soon. So make sure you check out Unicorn Overlord. And then we have the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 Pixel Remasters collection. I do not know what Square Enix was doing when they first released this collection last year, I believe, when they just up and just dropped it randomly in the middle of the night, had people scrambling to get the physical version, and it just sold out and almost nobody had a chance to get it. Of course, you could get it digitally, but for my physical collectors, they just didn't do us any favors. So it was really cool and really awesome when it got a second chance at life this year when they made the physical versions available again for purchase. So now, for my physical collectors, you can cop the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 Pixel Remasters collection on sale at GameStop, Amazon, Target, for Best Buy for $55, and then on the eShop digitally it's available for $56.24. On the eShop, you can also get the individual versions of the games separately by themselves, so you could get like what's considered to be one of the greatest RPGs of all time, Final Fantasy VI. It's available for like $13 by itself. I'm in the middle of playing through Final Fantasy VI for the first time ever, and it's just been such a great experience and just an awesome game. I don't know if it's going to be the greatest RPG of all time for me, but it's definitely up there on my list. And if I was to do a top 10 top 5, it would definitely find its way onto that list. So my RPG fans, if you do not own this Pixel Remasters collection, if you have not experienced at least one of these classics and you've been wanting to, if you want to fill out your RPG history, or if you love the Super Nintendo back in the day, the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 collection Pixel Remasters, that is an awesome collection of 6 classic JRPGs, with definitely one of them being considered one of the greatest of all times, and just an overall collection of just some of the greatest RPGs in JRPG history. And next up, we have not just one of my favorite indie games, but one of my favorite games, period. One of my favorite RPGs, and definitely one of my favorite games from last year, and that is Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars was just such an awesome game. It was just such a beautiful experience and a standout indie title from last year. The visuals and graphic style is just so beautiful, and they really just pop on the Switch OLED screen, and the music is so good. The story starts off a little slow, but once it picks up and gets interesting, it really gets interesting, and it never lets up, and it had its hooks in the until the end. But the real star of the show in Sea of Stars was the combat. That was what had me intrigued and excited for this game from day one. I love the combat systems where it keeps you involved, where you can have your time button presses or just action commands to go with the battle combat, which is why I love games like Super Mario RPG. And now they just did a brand new free update that allows you to play this game locally with up to 3 players throughout the entire game. I love having an RPG that you can play co-op. I wanted to have a reason to dive back into the world of Sea of Stars, and that new update and being able to play it co-op with up to 2 other people is the perfect reason to dive back into this game. And now it's available on sale physically for $25 at Best Buy, Target, GameStop, Amazon. So Sea of Stars is just a great 16-bit era style RPG that is a must-buy, must-play RPG experience on the Nintendo Switch. Next up, we have what is, in my opinion, one of the best platformers on the Switch and the best Kirby game of all time, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This game is a platforming masterpiece, and it is just such a fun and charming adventure. Kirby and the Forgotten Land holds a really special place in my heart. For me, this is one of mine and my wife's favorite game. We played through the entire game together in co-op and beat the game. It was just such a fun experience. I love always having a really good co-op game, and it was just a really cool memory being able to play that with my wife. So if you have someone in your life, if you have a significant other, a best friend, brother, sister, daughter, son, anybody like that you could play through this game with on the couch, local co-op, this is a great game for you to get. It's just so much fun. It has the right amount of challenge just for getting through the base game, and then if you want to search out that difficulty, it has challenge levels that you can attempt to conquer that give you that challenge that you may not get from the actual base game itself. And it has some really good music, some cool boss fights with an absolutely crazy one that happens in there. It's just a lot of just really good stuff in this game. And right now it is on sale for my physical peeps. It is on sale at Target for $35 and at Best Buy for $40. But right now, the king of these Black Friday deals that's going on right now is Walmart. And at Walmart, hopefully You haven't missed it, but at Walmart, you can get Kirby and the Forgotten Land for $30. And $30 for one of the best platformers of this generation is an awesome deal. And keeping the platformer love going, you know this one had to be on the list because this game has one of the absolute best deals going on. For $30 from across Best Buy, Target, and Walmart, we have Super Mario Odyssey. And I keep saying it, but it's true. This is another one of my absolute favorite games on the Switch. During the Switch's launch year, it was an overall just an amazing launch lineup, but there were two titans that held things down for the Switch that year, and that was starting off things with Breath of the Wild, and then the end of the year with Super Mario Odyssey. Those two anchored the system and helped lead it to the success that it's seen to this day. Super Mario Odyssey is an absolutely fantastic 3D platformer and still one of the absolute best games on the Switch. There's been a lot of talk recently about what's been the greatest platformer within the last few years, and I've been playing through Astrobot, and it's a fantastic game, amazing game, definitely one of the best of this year, but people still need to put some respect on Super Mario Odyssey's name. I don't think Astrobot came in and blew Super Mario Odyssey out the water. Super Mario Odyssey can stand toe to toe, and in some ways, in my opinion, is still a bit better than Astrobot. So Super Mario Odyssey, that is just, one of the best platformers. I remember when this game came out, I was like, I am taking the rest of this week off work and don't nobody bother me. I'm playing Super Mario Odyssey, and I loved every minute of this game. It was just so good, and just thinking about it has me excited, thinking about what Nintendo is cooking up for the next big 3D Mario that I believe is going to launch their next system, the successor to the Nintendo Switch. So thinking about what they did so well with Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch, and then what they can do now with the next system, man, that's going to be awesome. But for right now, Super Mario Odyssey, if you have a Switch, you owe it to yourself, and you haven't played this game, you owe it to yourself to play Super Mario Odyssey. One of the best 3D platformers, not just of this generation, but of all time, and one of the greatest games on the Switch. Definitely another top 10, top 5 game, and one of my absolute favorites, Super Mario Odyssey. All right, and next up we have an absolute banger of a game. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but another one of my favorite games on the Switch, another top 10, top 5 game for me, and that is Fire Emblem 3 Houses, one of my all-time favorite RPGs, strategy RPGs, whatever you want to call it. It's one of my favorite RPGs, and just one of the best games of this Switch era, Switch generation. There's just so much to love about this game. The music, that classic Fire Emblem strategy RPG combat that just feels like home. The characters, this has one of my absolute all-time favorite cast of characters of any game. Team Blue Lion for life. For those that know, Beast Mode Dimitri is that dude. There's just so much good stuff in this game, and it's one of the few games that I've replayed through in recent years. I don't replay a lot of games. There's so many cool, awesome, good games out there, and just so little time that I don't spend a lot of time replaying games. But Fire Emblem 3 Houses has 3 separate stories. So far, I've only seen 2 of those stories, starting off with the Blue Lions, and then my second playthrough I did the Black Eagles. And I don't know about you Edelgard people, but Edelgard was wrong. I will always have Dimitri's back, Team Dimitri. But yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses, it has one of the best all-time stories in any Nintendo RPG, any Nintendo game. Just a really good, gripping story that just makes you really care about the characters, care about the world, makes you feel about what's going on, and just has you emotionally connected to the characters and wanting to see them survive. I play my Fire Emblem games on hard mode and classic, and so when somebody dies, I'm like, no, you're not dying, and I restart the battle to keep them from dying because I can't let anybody die on my watch. So Fire Emblem Three Houses, one of the absolute best games on the Switch, and it is available on sale right now. Unfortunately, there is no physical sale, and it seems like this game may be starting to become hard to find physical copies, but it is on sale digitally on the eShop and at Best Buy and Target for $41.99. And for that $41.99, you get so much game to play. You get 3-4 stories to play through for my completionists out there, and just overall great game in Fire Emblem Three Houses. Next up, keeping the RPG love going, I've got two absolute classic masterpiece RPGs in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I really wish that I could say the whole trilogy. Maybe in some other regions, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 might be on sale as well, but for my North American peeps, it's Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that are on sale for this Black Friday sale. But with these two games, you get the start to one of the greatest trilogies in gaming and one of the greatest stories ever told in gaming. So if you're looking for a big, meaty story adventure to get into this holiday season during your Thanksgiving break, during your Christmas break, during your whatever holiday break, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and or 2 is a great RPG for you to settle in with during these winter months and just enjoy you one of the best stories that you could experience in gaming today. And beyond the story, the Xenoblade series has some of the absolute best music going in gaming. In my opinion, like, I love the music in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, but Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that is just one of the, period, point blank, one of the best soundtracks that I've ever heard. And then you have the combat. I love me some Xenoblade combat, and that's why I'm so excited for Xenoblade Chronicles X coming next year. But getting back to Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2, people argue to this day about which is their favorite combat system between the first one and the second one. I love them both. They are both really good, and I think the first one is maybe a little bit more simpler to get into, but the second one, once it really clicks with you and you know what you're doing, it's just, man, that's just JRPG combat perfection. The third one has my favorite battle system, but again, that one isn't on sale. But if you feel like treating yourself, you should go ahead and get that one as well. The Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 are both on sale. Again, unfortunately, there's no physical sale that I found, but they are on sale digitally at Target, Best Buy, and on the eShop for $41.99. And lastly, with probably the best deal for the best game, we have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Right now, it's available on sale on the eShop for $50. and available for sale on at Best Buy for $40. But Walmart is coming through with the best deal on this game for $30 on Black Friday. So if you can hold off until Black Friday and go to and grab you a copy from Walmart, that is the deal. And I have to say, I don't care about what backlash has been coming for Tears of the Kingdom since it came out, whatever complaints about the story here or there. I'm saying it. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is one of the greatest games of all time and is an absolute essential must-buy, must-play game on the Nintendo Switch. If you are a fan of adventure, if you are a fan of discovery, of action, of lore, of a story that I don't care what the criticisms say, and yes, the story may have had its faults, but a story that will grip you and have you feeling the feels, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is that game. And Nintendo games don't go on sale like this often. This game, when it originally came out, it came out at $70. So to be able to get it for $30 at Walmart, that is an absolute deal, a steal of a deal for one of the best, if not the best game available on the Nintendo Switch. But you really can't go wrong with any of the games I mentioned on this list today. With any of these games, you are in for a special treat, and they would make for a great addition to your gaming library. But what do you think? What game or games are you going to pick up on this Black Friday sale? And what games do you recommend? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. And for more Nintendo gaming and Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 conversation, please hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later. Have a good one. Peace.